All right, everyone. So I'm taking you on a little adventure to see what's left of the little town called Maytoy. This town was where my dad went to school and graduated high school.
Rode a horse.
And he rode a horse through these pastures to school every day and back. There's not much left here, but I was going to show you what is left here. And it's got a little bit of a steep hill, but it's a good road. And if these trees could talk, they could probably have some great stories. These are some of your typical Oklahoma rural roads, but this one's actually in pretty good shape. So over here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a little creek bed. Looks like a creek bed. I imagine my dad used to play and hang out in those creek beds. Through those trees. Like I said, he used to ride a horse all over this area in the school every day. I think his name was Bill, Mom, is that right?
What?
Dad's horse was named Bill?
Bill. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Old Bill.
Old Bill's what they called him. I have a picture of him. And I might start the video off with that picture.
He was a spotted pony.
This little spotted paint horse. So here's the little creek bed. We're sitting on it now. We're on a bridge. But that's a little creek. That's how dry it is right now in Oklahoma. There's hardly any water in it. Now, the last time I came this way with my dad, he told me that this is the road that he used to ride his horse out to go to school every day. So this land connected onto our old home place. And so yeah, my dad rode up and down this little road on his little paint horse to school or to the store all the years growing up here in Maytoy. Isn't that cool? There's a little road back there. And here's the rest of that road that Dad used to ride that horse down.
It's beautiful.
It is pretty. And it's kind of shady, which is nice. And it's a nice road. You know, you get down in these rural roads and you just wonder.
Didn't have any gravel on it when Dad rode up and down it. They get stuck.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, there was no gravel on this road when Dad used to ride down. Because I've heard stories about getting their bus stuck in the mud or couldn't get out to a basketball game because it was muddy. Okay, I don't know if you can see this or not. But right up here, right here is a house. Now, my dad said that this house was up on the hill. They had no car, I believe, and they didn't have a lot of money, but they had to get everything up and down that hill to get to that house. Can you imagine? But it raised a lot. I can't remember who lived here, but I know it was a pretty big family at the time up on the hill. I wish I could zoom in a little farther so you could see it, but yeah. Here's another old house I want to take a picture of. I believe this might be, Ola Pearl's house. Now, that's a friend of my dad's. But her daughter used to be my boss many, many years ago. I could have the house wrong, though, but anyway. Walls can talk. There's a fence or I would get a little bit closer. Probably had a lot of memories shared on that front porch. Look at the old windows. So, do you guys see up there in the hills? There is an old either church or school. Mom thinks it's a school. I think it's the church. I'm not really sure. Oh, Mom says it was the school. She probably knows better than I do. The old Maytoy school. But again, it could have been the church. See the old building, and so yeah, not much left. I get closer, but it's on private property. Let's see if I can. Yeah, this is Maytoy. Not much left of Maytoy. They did have a general store sitting somewhere. I can't remember where Dad told me it was. They had a church, they had a school. That's about it. So we're at the Maytoy Cemetery. Now this is probably the best kept thing in Maytoy is the cemetery. It was built in 1912. And I believe we have probably some relatives buried in here, don't you think? I think so.
We have some friends we know that too.
Well, I think Dad has some relatives. But I'll have to, I would know more when I look around. So I'm going to get out and look around a little bit and share with you this small but cute little cemetery. Maytoy, the town of Maytoy, still has a reunion once every year. It's usually the second Sunday in June every year at the Caddo High School. So my dad loved to go to that thing, and it was great. He talked me into going with him. All he had to say is good potluck food, and I'm like, yeah, I'm going. But so, and they pay to have someone keep the cemetery up, so that's pretty cool. Pretty entry into the Maytoy Cemetery. So here we go into the beautiful, small, but quaint Maytoy Cemetery. Woohoo! Now I've been here several times with my dad, so I know a little bit of some of these people. And Mom says we have no relatives, but I believe we do. Because now just trying to remember who is the hardest part. But I know we're related to some Turners, I believe. And because I know Dad's cousin's last name is Turner. Betty Turner. I wish I was out here I have a cousin, my dad's cousin, Gerald Turner, and he would probably be able to tell me who most of these people are. I wish I would have made videos of my dad so I could know a little bit. These are a lot of famous names around Maytoy. The Hall family. I've heard many stories about the Halls through the years. Now this is Epperly. Now I know some Epperleys. I think I showed you a house earlier that was maybe one of the Epperleys' houses. But yeah, this is Charles Matthew Epperly, U.S. Army. He was in World War I, born in 1889 and died in 1977. Boyston. These are some of the great names that made this little town at one time. Nichols, another big name around this territory. Billy Nichols, oh yeah, Betsy Nichols. They still come out and decorate, and that's sweet. Billy Nichols was, let me read it, was is in the Marine Corps, World War II. U.S. veteran. And the Marines. My dad was in the Army, so. There's a few more. Stewart. And this one's brand new. So this one died just 1 month before my dad. So people are still buried out here at the Maytoy Cemetery because Died January 13th, 2022. My dad was February 14th, 2022. So, but my dad is actually in a different cemetery. Even though he was raised in Maytoy, he's actually in the Caddo Cemetery with my grandpa, my grandma. And that's also where I'm going to be buried. I already have the plot bought. You got to think ahead. It's cheaper to buy stuff like that now than to wait until you need a plot. So just really peaceful out here. Pretty. So let's go look at some of the older graves. So let me tell you, I found a grave that says money. Now my dad, this might be their parents, I'm not really sure, but my dad talked about growing up with the Maytoy twins. He talked about the Maytoy twins like all the time. Their house was just down the road from here. I actually know where it was sitting. And I imagine this is probably the Maytoy twins' mom and dad. Now, I could be wrong on that. But if so, my dad knew these people very, very well because he grew up with the Maytoy twins. Now, both Maytoy twins, I believe, have both passed on now. But I imagine that's probably, if that is not their parents, then it has to be an aunt and uncle. But I'm pretty sure that's probably the Maytoy twins' parents. That is a name I know well. Scalp. See, all these names are so familiar to me. I may not know them, but I've heard many. The Reeses. I did know this person. Don Reese. I know him. I knew him. And I know him too because, if I remember right, she went to school with my mom. Lavanda. So, yeah, those are names I know very well. And actually could tell you I know them personally. So, now was Dawn in the... Well, yeah, I didn't know that. Dawn was in the Army too. Interesting. So it's kind of fun when you see a grave and you go, I actually knew them. I know them. Let's see what's over here. Look at this old little fence. This is a little family plot. Never heard of the Addams Family, except on TV. Who watched the Addams Family? That was a great show. This one was a member of the Choctaw Nation, because we are in Choctaw territory. The headquarters for Choctaw Nation is in Durant, Oklahoma, which is about 30 minutes from here, maybe 25. I graduated from Durant, so. Here's another old one. Let's look at it real quick. It just says Sam Hall. Sorry about the shadow. It's the way the sun is. Age 77. That tree. That's kind of unique. Anybody know what kind of tree that is? It's got little seeds on there. I don't know. Here's some more halls. Very famous name around this territory. Here's Harvey Hall, Oklahoma, Private, 114th Infantry, 36th Division, November 17th, 1929. So, 1929. I'm thinking that maybe he was in World War I, or maybe in the service before then. It doesn't really tell you what war he was in, just Private 14th Infantry from Oklahoma. I know it's, well, could be Civil War, but he'd be pretty old there. I don't know if that would, Civil War might be too far back for the date when he passed away. We haven't found the Maytoy cemetery. There is a grave here for them, the Maytoy family, because it was named after the Maytoy family. Robertson, look at that one. Here we go. Albert Maytoy, 1876 to 1943. So Maytoy is actually named after a family. Oh, I wish I would have researched it. I read the history before about the Maytoys, but I can't remember for sure. I'm almost thinking they were Native American Choctaw, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. I will have to look that history up again. I feel like there's some more Maytoys. Oh, here they are. William Maytoy, U.S. Army, Civil War veteran. This is probably the one that was named after. October 24th, 1846 to January 7th, 1924. Look at that. Civil War veteran. I love the Civil War, so when I find a Civil War veteran, it just makes me smile. If only they could talk now, they'd have some great stories. These are nice new graves, but look at that. Mabel Tidwell. These are some little bitty kids. Ow, my knee's about to give out. Pierce's. Born 1924, died in 32. 1930, died in 31. And a baby boy died, I guess born and died on the same day, January 21st, 1934. I got a couple more I want to show you. Check out this one. Pettit, P-E-T-T-E-T. And that's about all I can read on it. It's pretty old. This one says Pettit too. Also in World War I. And let's see, we have another World War II veteran and Korea. So this guy was in the Air Force in World War II and Korea. Now that's pretty cool. Also Oklahoma, U.S. Army, World War II. Died just a few months after I was born. So, anyway, this is the Great Cemetery of Maytoy. Not very big, but a lot of family history and a lot of history in this particular cemetery. So what do you remember about Maytoy? Anything?
What do I remember about Maytoy?
Anything that stands out?
I think it's beautiful out here. It's kind of out no man's land, but you never see anything for sale, so somebody must love it. But it is pretty. I do like it. I like Dad's house where he was raised. I like him to talk about the stories, and my grandkids love for us to talk about the good old days.
That's true.
And we got a lot of good old memories that we can tell them about this place.
That's true. All right, y'all, I want to say thank you for joining on my video. That is the wrap. That is pretty much what's left of Maytoy. Not much left there, but great memories, as my mom said. And so I hope you enjoyed the cemetery and some of the old houses. A couple of my other videos, I have some videos coming up or I've already posted, of where my dad was raised in Maytoy. Anything you want to leave? Any thoughts you want to leave about?
Not really. I enjoy coming out here. It's so peaceful, and it's good to look back at old memories, but it's not good to dwell on them.
That's true. That's true. So we'll leave you with that words of wisdom from my mom, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe, and come along my YouTube journey.